Welcome to another episode of Whiskey and Washers. I'm your host, Ryan. Appreciate you joining me tonight. So we're going to do a little review tonight, and that's right. 1792. We got the small batch going on this evening. And in case you weren't up for the tasting up at Sam's Liquor and Smoke Shop tonight in Baser, I'm going to try not to do that again. I'm going to go ahead and give you my personal review on it, just in case you missed it. And if you did, shame on you. Come up and see me. Got a bourbon tasting every Friday night, 4 to 6 p.m. So, obviously, you've got to figure out what we can learn from this bottle. All right, so it's a small batch, bottled at 93.7 proof. Man, that's a tough bottle to read. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. All right. Most important things are usually on the back. What do we got? Bottle, distilled and bottled by Barton, 1792 Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky. All right, so this is their own juice. That's right. We don't need a government warning on there. And a little story on background of it. So they do quite a few iterations of the 1792. They got the wheated, they got single barrel, they got the barrel proof. This is just a small batch. What you can find on the shelf every day, $31.99 up at Sam's. Seriously, it's a great buy. Great bang for your buck. Not something that's always been available on the shelf. So if you never checked it out before, let's show you what you're missing. And you might ask, so people have been asking me this, like, why don't you do flavor profiles? Why don't you, hey, I get this note out of it and this, and like anybody can Google that. Like, you can just Google 1792 small batch. What notes am I going to get? What flavors? Whatnot? And a lot of the time that doesn't help you because, okay, you can read something like that and be like, okay, well, that doesn't necessarily tell me I'm going to like it. Like, what does this compare to? What other bourbons, if I like 1792, what other bourbons are like that? And vice versa. So you're not... Because I'm always telling people, like, bourbon shopping can be hard because nothing worse than getting a damn bottle that you don't enjoy and spending whatever you're going to spend on it and getting it home and not enjoying it. So that's why I try to do my reviews like this instead of giving you notes. Everybody can look up notes and flavor profile and whatnot. But knowing what something tastes like doesn't tell you that you're going to taste those things as well. That's the other thing. Everybody's palate's a little different. So enough talking. Here we go. 1792 small batch. Super easy drinking. It's light on my palate. And now that is my palate, so everybody's a little different, but it's nice and light, easy drinking, smooth. My first drink of the evening, and it's didn't give me much burn at all. God, really not at all. Not going down, not too much on the palate. One of the smoother, 93.7 proof, that's what we came in at. One of your smoother bottles at that proof. Like Elijah Craig's 94 proof, and it pops way more than this does. It kind of gives me, spice-wise, like a Woodford, a Willet Pot Still, kind of those deep copper, really mellows out, at least for my palate. So you like the Woodford, you like the Willet Pot Still. Definitely give this a try. It's going to be cheaper than both those bottles as well, which is kind of amazing. Being a small batch. We got it priced up at Sam's at $31.99. That's our everyday price. Hopefully, and we do have the half gallons, which is kind of cool. It's been a hard bottle to get for so many years, and then all of a sudden, hey, we can get it in half gallons, which is very nice. Oh man, kind of a Michter's bourbon, kind of similar to that as well. Michter's a little lower on the proof. I like the Michter's. A little lower on the proof on the Michter's, and it's very similar profile, honestly. So Barton actually makes this. Well, Barton is owned by Sazerac, so who knows how this is actually get done anymore. But Barton is the head distillery of 1792, but they're both their parent company is Sazerac. Sazerac bought them, I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that, I believe. But God, it's an easy drinker. It's smooth. If you're into smooth, like you like the. See, I think Buffalo Trace is smooth. I think Eagle Rare is smooth. I think Woodford. Trying to think of some other really nice. And it's still popping good flavors. So that's my issue with the lower proof is a lot of the times I'm just not getting the flavor I want. Like I love the higher proof because you get so much more flavor out of it. You get no water in it. Like that's how I want it. Hey, if I want to knock down the proof a little bit, I'll add some ice. I'll add some water. But I want you to get me as much flavor as you can. And you can kind of tell it's not a super deep color on it. 94 proof. Can you even see that? So yeah, kind of your smoother bottles. Some of the higher ends that I've actually done a review on, like the Heaven Hill bottled in bond. So the Heaven Hill's actually, in my opinion, probably got a little more pop in terms in the palate, but they're both really smooth going down. That back end is super nice. Heaven Hill's going to be a little older, a little higher proof, 100 proof compared to 93.7, but the Makers, I think, is going to be it's got a little more spice to me, even though it's weeded. But yeah, like, so if you enjoy Woodford for its smoothness, just flavor a combination with the smooth, definitely go after some 1792, and you'll save a little money. If you're more into the bolder, you like the Wild Turkeys, the Elijah Craigs, the rest of the Willet line besides the Pot Still, you're probably not gonna. This is probably not gonna be one of your favorites, but they do have a barrel strength and a single barrel and whatnot. They're very, at least in Kansas, they're hard to get. But if you can find those, that's what I would recommend for a palate like you. If you're a Canadian drinker, Canadian whiskey drinker, and you're looking to kind of branch out to some bourbons, this would be one of the first ones I would recommend. Not a ton of oak coming through. It's going to have a little more bite than most of your Canadian whiskeys, at least that I've tried. But it's smooth. It's easy drinking, man. If you need to knock a cube or two in it, it's even going to make it even smoother. So 1792, it is a good bottle. I do enjoy it. For my palate, it's just a little, I hate to say it, it's almost too smooth. I want a little more bite. I want a little more flavor. But if you're into the smooth and a small batch at a great price, 1792 is your bottle. So, I'm going to keep drinking it though. I mean, shoot, I'm I'm not going to pour it out. I mean, give me a break. And it's nice. Like, what I would do with this bottle, personally, and everybody's a little different. So I'd pop my higher proof bourbon, have a couple of those, and then maybe my last drink is going to be the 1792. Calming the palate down a little bit. You know, I've already had enough drinks where flavor isn't as important. So I usually go high proof, and I'm weird like this. I've talked to people about this, and I know I'm weird, but so I'm high proof to low proof. So I want my first bourbon to be high proof. I want it to attack my taste buds. Just what you got for me? Come on, Master Distiller, just pop some flavor into me. And so I'm always high proof going to low proof, and most people are like, oh, I go the exact opposite way. So there's different ways to it, but this bottle, like, if you're a bourbon guy, like, and you have people come over that aren't necessarily big bourbon drinkers, this is a great bottle for them. And it's not expensive, $31.99. So anyway, the 1792 small batch, it's a nice bottle. I love it. I wouldn't say I love it. I do enjoy it. Great flavor for the proof. God, just great everything for the price. Like, everything you're getting out of this bottle is really nice. So I definitely recommend it. And hopefully that gave you a little bit of knowledge on what 1792 is like, how it compares to some other bourbons that are almost on every bar around, or every bar, every liquor store. And this may not be. So gives you an idea what you're looking for. If you're smooth, you enjoy the smooth bourbons. This is definitely going to be your jam. You're going to enjoy this. If you're more into a little bit more of the bite, a little bit more just attack your taste buds, just get that flavor. This is not going to be one of your favorites, but I would still even recommend it to you. You still get a lot of flavor. It's great bang for your buck at the price. So I think that's all I got for you. I think it's time for me to enjoy my drink all by myself. So, so I'm Ryan, your host of Whiskey and Washers, man. Thanks again for joining me. Always join me on Friday nights up at Sam's Liquor in Bayside, Kansas, if you can. And this is what we were drinking tonight, out for the tasting, and sold quite a few bottles of it. Like, again, this is a great beginner bourbon. So, and even if you're not a beginner, this is still a good bourbon. Like, it's you don't see many bourbons that's good for everybody. So I definitely recommend it. Thanks for checking out my show. Hey, we'll see you down the road.